All right, students, today we are in chapter 11, lesson 12, and we're converting metric units of mass. So mass is like weight. It's kind of used interchangeably by a lot of people. People will say, how much does something weigh? But with the metric system, it's a little bit more specific. It's talking about mass because something won't weigh the same, say in outer space or something. If you were on the moon, something would weigh less, but it still has the same amount of mass. So mass is like a more specific way of saying how much something weighs. It's how much matter it's made up of. You know, if I had this marker has a certain amount of mass and it weighs a certain amount, but if I took it onto the moon, for example, and weighed it again, it wouldn't weigh the same, right? Or underwater or something like that. So mass is a more specific way of saying what something is made of, right? So with our customary units, we talked about the weight of 2,000 pounds and 16 ounces and all those things. But with the metric system, we talk about mass. But we still use scales to figure out mass. So that's what I mean by mass. It's basically how much matter an object has. So let's talk about the first example. A white-tailed deer has a mass of 136 kilograms. What's the mass of the deer in grams? So what we're going to do is convert 136 kilograms to grams. Now we have this great chart on the page that shows milligrams, grams, and kilograms and what they're like. But guess what we have in our back pocket? Our secret weapon. King Henry died drinking chocolate milk. That makes things easy for us, right? So let's go ahead and do this. King Henry died drinking chocolate milk. King Henry died drinking chocolate milk, right? Base. All right. So let's figure this out. Well, what is our base? We're talking about grams today. In the metric system, our mass is measured in grams. So that's what we're talking about. It says a white-tailed deer has a mass of 136 kilograms. So this is kilo, hecto, deca, deci, centi, milli, milligrams, centigrams, decigrams, decagrams, hectograms, kilograms. So what we're going to do is take 136 kilograms and we are going to convert it into how much it is in grams. So let's do that. And yay, we already know how, don't we? We're going to take 136 kilograms. Here's the decimal. We're going that way on the chart, so that means we're going to multiply, which means we're just going to move the decimal that way. So we're going that way, so we move the decimal that way. We just move the decimal the same way we're going. We're going from kilograms to grams. We're going 1, 2, 3 decimal places. Pop some zeros on the end. I'm going to take that decimal and move it 1, 2, 3 decimal places, right? So in kilograms, it's 136 kilograms. That means that this deer is 136,000 grams. And those are equal. Pretty cool. So basically what we're doing is taking 136 and timesing it by 1,000 because there are 1,000 grams in a kilogram. And that's what's happening in that. And then of course you can check your answer like it says in the math book. So let's look at example 2. On this one we're going to convert 1,500 grams, 1,500 grams to kilograms. So I'm going to leave this one there. And just go down below it for the next one. So on this one, on example 2, we have 1,500 grams, and we need to convert it into kilograms. Okay, so we're going to take our 1,500, our decimal's right here. We're heading that way on the chart, so we're just going to move the decimal that way, and we're going to move it from grams to kilograms. 1, 2, 3 decimal places. 1, 2, 3 decimal places. So that means that 1,500 grams or 1,500 grams is the same as 1.5 kilograms. Now I know in the math book it actually has the math problem written out and all of that, but we just have something to make it easier for ourselves. We have this chart that we can draw out from our head because of the King Henry wrap, kilo, hecto, deca, base, deci, centi, milli. And we can just go ahead and go back and forth and do these conversions. So the independent practice should be fairly easy for you today because now instead of using meters, we're using grams, but it's the same exact concept. So go ahead and do the guided practice and I'll tell you the answers right now. So pause the video, do the guided practice. The first one is 5,000 milligrams. Milligrams are over here. So 5,000 milligrams. 5,000 milligrams, if you move the decimal over 1, 2, 3 to grams, it's 5 milligrams. So that's the first one. Number 2 has kilograms, 5 kilograms. So we'll go ahead and go over here. So it's 5 kilograms, 5 kg, as Mr. Anson, who's from India, says 5 kg. And you take that over to grams. You're going to move the decimal over that way. So you end up with 5,000. Oh, did I write milli? I'm sorry, I wrote milli there. That should just be grams. I apologize for that. 5,000 grams. I didn't mean to put that M there. Let me fix that. That's grams. All right. Number 3 says 4,000 grams to kilograms. So let's go ahead and do that one. We'll have 4,000 grams right here. And if we move our decimal over by heading that way, we just end up with 4 kilograms. Okay, and we had kind of a, last week was a little bit rough with all those customary measurements where we had to multiply the different things. And isn't it nice to just move a decimal back and forth? So number 4, the last one on the guided practice, is 9 grams. So if we take 9 grams and change it into milligrams, we're just moving our decimal that way. So 9 grams is the same as 9,000 milligrams. And you're beginning to see the pattern, right? There are 1,000 milligrams in a gram. There are 1,000 grams in a kilogram. Okay, so go ahead and do the independent practice. And then the next thing that we learn tomorrow will be converting metric units of capacity.